I was born on the 11th of September 1992 in a hospital in Lincolnshire close to my hometown. At first it was just me, my mum and my dad. My sister was born on the 29th of February 1996 and I can't remember much before that, apart from my first memory of my dad singing to Blur Country House in the car and me trying to copy him. From a young age, me and my sister were the best of friends, even though she once convinced me to crawl under a trampoline of hers and then proceeded to bounce on it. If my mum hadn't heard my desperate cries for help, I might have been there for hours. I started school when I was almost 5, and that day was the day I decided I was grown up and gave up my dummy. I don't have many only memories of school, apart from accidentally cutting the end of my plait off my hair, and always being a shepherd in the nativity. When I was 7 years old, I lost my favourite teddy bear, and I was completely heartbroken. Even at 20 years old, I can remember exactly how heartbroken I felt. When I was 8, my brother was born on the 5th of October 2000. I can still remember seeing him for the first time. He had quite a lot of hair, and it was really dark. He was an adorable baby, and he's still just as much of a poser now than he was as a toddler. When I was 9 or 10, I met my best friend Amy, who is still one of my best friends to this day. And in the last year of primary school, I was devastated when we got into different secondary schools. On my first day of secondary school, I remember being genuinely upset when I realised it was too late to receive my Hogwarts letter. I was kind of weird. I made some great friends there, and I'm still friends with them today, which seems odd sometimes to know that they've been a part of my life for over half my life. At 13, I was lucky enough to go abroad for the first time with my family. We went to Orlando, Florida, where my parents had gone on their honeymoon, and they made it their dream to take the family someday. I studied really hard for my GCSEs, and eventually got the results to get me into the same school as Amy for my A-levels, which I'd been hoping to for 5 years. But at this point, I had already made friends from the school through Amy, and that I'd had them for years. I can honestly say the 2 years I studied there were some of the happiest of my life, and I had some of the best friends I could ever ask for. I also met two of my best friends there that I'd never met before, Steph and Stella. I started a summer job to save up for university. I'd serve ice cream 6 days a week, but I made some amazing friends there, and my free time was often spent with them. I didn't get into my first choice university, but I did get into my second. It left me a few weeks to prepare and say my goodbyes. I was quite scared to leave because I was the happiest I had been with such great family and friends. I'm currently on my second year at university. I love my course and I've made some really great friends. I only wish I could see my home friends and family more because they're off all over the place and the holidays go so fast.